Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we have a letter from St. Faustina to Father Sopoćko dated July 5th, 1936. Krakow, 5th of July, 1936. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Most Reverend Father, I am very sorry that I dare to take up a moment of your time in reading this letter. In my previous letter to you, Father, I wrote about my firm resolution which I was to make on the day of the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. However, due to immense interior impulsions, I did this earlier. I met with Father Andras on Wednesday before Corpus Christi, and I told him about my urgency. Father Andras replied that, as regards this issue, you take the responsibility for yourself, sister. I neither prohibit nor order you to leave. So, if you feel this urgency, sister, then you may go. I was very happy to hear this, and I decided to settle this finally with Mother General. Yet, on the following day, that is, on Corpus Christi, shortly before Holy Mass, God's presence suddenly left me, and darkness dominated my soul. And this held me back a little, so I had second thoughts about leaving the congregation. But afterwards I sought advice from Father Andras, who assured me that this was not an obstacle to action. Nevertheless, he recommended I ask your opinion about it, Father. Therefore, I sincerely ask what your view of the matter is, Father. In spite of the fact that I no longer feel God's presence in my soul as before, I have decided to continue acting due to these great divine impulsions which are in the depth of my soul. I even intended to go to the Holy Father and ask him for permission to leave the congregation and for the Feast of Mercy. However, Father Andras told me that Mother General would certainly not give her permission for such a journey. So I intend to ask Mother General to grant me a formal dispensation from the congregation. Therefore, I am waiting for your opinion, Father, regarding this whole issue. It will be a light for me during those moments of inner struggle. I feel that God's time has already come to rise to action. Here are my thoughts about beginning this work. For a start, even a single apartment will suffice, and as for the rest, I am counting on God. I know that God himself will direct everything. I am waiting for your answer, Father, and as soon as I get it, I shall start acting. Yet it seems to me that things will take a little longer, for Mother General has to write to Rome for a dispensation, so the whole matter will still take a few more days. Still, I would be grateful if you could let me know, quite frankly, what your opinion is, Father, because your word is of great importance to me. My soul has come down from the peaks of Tabor to the Garden of Gethsemane. But just as there, so here too with Jesus, and I repeat after Jesus, not mine, but your holy will be done, eternal God. I live by faith. I am not enjoying direct union with Jesus as before, but in everything I conform myself to and adore God's will. And in spite of everything, there is a constant and profound peace in the depth of my soul. Now, as to work, I have currently so much work that sometimes I am unable to complete all my spiritual exercises. But may all of this glorify God. Once again, I beg you, Father, write back about all this, and please pray for me. I will tell you about the rest when we see each other, because I am hoping that everything will happen soon. I kiss your hand, Father, and ask your blessing. Sister M. Faustina. Approximately 1 month after her last letter, St. Faustina writes another letter to Father Sopoćko. She couldn't wait until the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus to make a decision about her future. She had a very strong interior urge to act, so she didn't wait for the feast. Spoiler alert, this urge is probably not from God. Let me quote from Father Sopoćko's last letter. I, for my part, advise you to continue to work on conforming yourself to God's will and to act slowly and with great prudence in spite of the inner urge to take up action. Within 1 month, St. Faustina has forgotten that advice. She told Father Andrasz of the urgency. He told her to take responsibility for her choice. He neither prohibited her from leaving, nor did he order her to leave. He didn't want to get in the way of God's action if it was from God. Faustina was happy, seeing this as a green light from her confessor, or spiritual director, or at least it was a yellow light. But then God's presence left her, and darkness dominated her soul. This gave her second thoughts. Father Andrasz said that sometimes God withdraws his consolations to purify our intentions. It is not necessarily a sign to stop going forward, but it should be discerned. That is why they are seeking Father Sopoćko's opinion. Faustina wants to go forward. She is ready to go to Rome to talk to the Holy Father directly. She is cautioned not to do that. She has some ideas on how to begin the work, perhaps in an apartment in Vilnius at the beginning. She is sincerely trying to do God's will, but she would love to hear from Father Sopoćko. She says that she was on Mount Tabor, spiritually, where the Transfiguration took place, but now, and then she was filled with consolations, but now, spiritually, she's in the Garden of Gethsemane, filled with doubts and fears. She's quite busy. She doesn't have time to finish her prayers each day, and she hopes that all of this will take place soon. There are many signs here that the evil one has gotten in there to get her off course. We'll hear Father Sopoćko's reply in the next podcast.